Hi everyone, I'm John, and today we're going to be looking at recording setup. What do you need to record the Didge, and how does it kind of work? Give you a brief overview of it really, just so that if you are ever thinking of wanting to record the Didge, there are different ways of doing it, and give you some ideas of how to go about it really. So I'm going to sort of be talking about the sort of methods that are used these days, like the use of an interface, the use of a DAW, digital audio workstation on the PC. I'm also going to mention hardware recorders as well, because some people prefer to use hardware recorders, so I'll kind of explain a little bit about that as well, and the connections and everything. We'll see how this video goes. I might split it up into two, just explain maybe some more technical things on the next video, so you can just get an overview of the first one really, the most important things. So where do we start? Let's see. Right, the first thing you need is, well, you need a few things together really. You can't just do it without, you need a few things together. You could start off recording with, if you want to keep it real simple, you could just get yourself a portable recorder, and plug in to a portable recorder and use a microphone with it. Some portable recorders have their own microphones, and I'll mention a couple of recorders, and also you've got an ear. You'll have like a little mini jack to plug into the recorder, so you can hear back what you've been recording. Also portable recorders can be used on what they call field recordings. You can record them outside, you can take them anywhere, and record your Didge, so there's that option. Years and years ago I bought an Olympus LS10, I think, recorder. What it was, very quite a simple recorder. I don't think that model's being made anymore, but had quite good recordings on them. I was quite pleased with the recordings. And but these days Zoom recorders are quite popular. I can't remember the numbers of them now, H2, HN2 or H4. It's got like different inputs. You can plug in more than one microphone, or you can use the recorder itself to, it's got its own inbuilt microphones. I will explain a little bit about the microphone as well. And so that would be, so basically you might not even need a microphone. If you want to keep it real simple, you could buy a portable recorder with its own inbuilt microphone. So look, you can look at the Zoom do recorders. That's ZOOM, Zoom. If you look up Zoom, I don't know what Olympus are making these days, but the Zoom are popular, and Tascam, I think they make portable recorders. I think they make good portable recorders. And also you can get, if you want to get, now where have I got that? Oh, I'll just go and get that. This one here, I've actually got a mix pre. Let's turn it upside down. Which way around is that? Oh, probably that way. Yeah, a mix pre. It's got 3 inputs. You can plug 3 microphones in. There's no inbuilt microphones into this. It's a very, very good quality field recorder. So if you want to go out and get top-notch field recordings, mix pre. But they are a little bit pricey. Nonetheless, really, really good quality. But you could start off with a Zoom, or maybe a Tascam that you can get cheaper and still get good quality recordings from them. So there is that option. As I say, they've got inbuilt microphones, and but if they haven't got inbuilt microphones, you'd need a microphone. So all right, so that's one option. Also, if you did record with that, you could, if you wanted to get a digital audio workstation, that is like learning to record onto the your PC, your computer, or your Mac computer, you could get the portable recordings done and then import it into your DAW on the PC. So there is that option. There's to make it a much more powerful way of, you could edit things on there as well, the sound and everything. So there is that option. So that's portable recordings. I mean, you could just do that if you want to keep it real simple, or you could use probably the most simplest way to record if you want to get good quality recordings is what they use these days, is an interface, and you know, you need a microphone, an interface, and a PC, your computer, and you just connect them together, and then they, you know, once you've got it set up, you can record from your microphone through the interface and into your digital audio. You need a digital audio workstation. So okay, well let's just go with this for a minute, because this is probably for most people the cheapest way to get, you know, the most budget way to get reasonably good recordings, and you know, it's going to give you that bit of extra level on the quality. You can get really good quality on portable recordings if, you know, if they're done right. But the interface, if you've got a dedicated interface, you should in theory have a good quality connection to your computer and to your loudspeakers. So what do you need here? You need, if you're going to do it via an interface, this Mix Pre actually, although it's a recorder, you can use it as an interface as well. It does work as an interface, so that's pretty good. The monitoring's not so good on it. I'll explain a bit about monitoring in a minute, but the monitoring's not, you know, the connections aren't as professional with the bigger jacks, plugs and things, but it's still very good. It still works well as an interface. So you need an interface. Right, start from scratch. You need a microphone, because when you're playing your dig, you've got to capture the sound with something, and that's through a microphone. You're going to need a lead to plug it in to your interface, so then you need an interface and obviously a lead in between. You might need a stand for your microphone. You might lay it down on a surface. If you're doing a reflective recording off a reflective surface, you could just lay it down. Then from your interface, you then need a USB cable to plug into your PC. I'm going to just stick with the USB interface. There are other versions like called Thunderbolt, but I'm just going to stick with the USB, because there's a lot of USB connectivity with interfaces these days, and it's a nice easy way of getting going and easy to understand it. As you know, your PC will have a USB port that will work pretty much any interface, USB version. So basically, so you've got the mic, the interface, you've got the connections, you've got the digital audio workstation. This is a software program on your personal computer, on your PC, and so you'll see it on your screen. And then you need monitor speakers, well, loudspeakers, to listen to, or you can use headphones. Now, headphones are a very useful way to record in a little, you can make your little mini studio up, if you like, you know, with these bits and pieces. And if you haven't got a very good recording room, or if you've got a very small room, it's harder to get better sound because of all the reflections of the sound in the room coming back into your didgeridoo. So a pair of headphones can be a really useful way of getting around that issue to some extent. So there we go. You can use some headphones or a pair of monitor speakers. So there's those options there. So what I'll do is I'll now go onto the screen. We'll look on the screen. I'm gonna, where's mine? There we go. Right, let's get that down there, because I'm going to show you some interfaces and what it's all about. So let's just say you've purchased a Door Online digital audio workstation, which I'll come to in a minute. Right, you've bought yourself an interface. Let's say this one here. Let's get it up. I'm just gonna, now this, Let's get a large screen. Now there's the Volt 2. Now, this is a reasonably new interface by Universal Audio. Now, it's called the Volt 2. You can see here, you've got where that little, my cursor is, it's a plus sign here. You can see that input 2 and input 1. Here's 2 connections. So I'm going to try and kind of give you an idea of how it works as we go along and as well, just so that if you do come to get one, it gives you an idea of how to use it as well. So you've got, these are 2 microphone inputs, but you might be able to have an instrument input as well, like a guitar, because over here it's got instrument. So a lot of interfaces will enable you to plug an instrument in, like with a jack plug. I'll talk about that again in a minute. The jack plugs and things, leads. So you've got 2 inputs, 2 microphones you can have plugged into this one. You can get interfaces with just 1 microphone input if you want to get it as cheap as possible. And let me just scroll through a minute on the thing. Oh, well, let's go back. Let's go back a minute. Right. You got the 2, so you could plug 2 microphones in, all right? Let's just say I've got a microphone here. Let's just say this is a big chunky one. It's I'll show you when I get full screen in a minute what this one is. But let's just say you've got this microphone plugged in. You've got your didge on the end of it, and then you plug the end of the lead that comes from the microphone into one of these inputs. You only need 1 on this, and then you're going to get some sound through here. It's coming into here, input 1, and then you're going to use this gain control just to boost the gain, because when you play the didge through this microphone, the electrical signal. I think I might do a part 2 with this so that I can explain a bit more about this side of it. But just to give you a really rough idea, so the signal goes through, the sound wave goes through the microphone, through the lead, into the interface, into here. You then have to turn it up. It's like a volume control. This is the gain. It's not exactly a volume control, but it's like a volume control. You turn the gain up because it's got a preamp inside. I'll, as I say, talk about that in part 2. Push the gain up to get the level right. And then you've got this monitor switch here. This is to turn your loudspeakers up. So the monitor volume control is for your loudspeakers, and you'll have your loudspeakers set either side. You know, you could have near fields, near ones, or you might have them a bit further back. But you turn that up and down to adjust your volume. Anyway, but if you've only got headphones, or you could have both, here's a volume control for your headphones. So you'll have these things on pretty much all your interfaces, really. This little button here, 48 volt, if you see you wonder what that is, that's what's called phantom power. Now this microphone here it's a dynamic mic, doesn't need phantom power. I have done a video on microphones, because you can check that out, and I talk about that on there anyway. So this is a dynamic mic. A condenser mic would need phantom power. So if you've got a condenser mic, you'd need to switch that on. So that's all you need to do with the interface, really. That's how that works. This is the back of it. There's the two monitor outputs. These are for the loudspeakers here. I'm not going to worry about that there. You don't need to worry about that. And that's just the switch and your power supply there. Anyway, it gives you an idea. Now, I've just shown you that interface. Put that down for a minute. Now then, I'm going to show you another interface. I've got Anderton's open here. I sometimes get some stuff from Anderton's. So that's the Universal Audio. Let's see if I can find... let's go on to the next page, I think. There we go. Let's go on there, see what we got. Now, what we got there? Oh, there we go. Focusrite. They're very... Right, let's go to... I'm going to go to another page. By the way, the cost of these units, if you get an interface, it's quite handy to get 2 if you can, a microphone with 2 inputs, but you don't need... you don't need to have two microphone inputs on the interface. You see those two little connections. You could just do one. Get one with a single input, a single microphone input if you wanted to. I was just gonna. Let's go to page 5 then. I was looking for something else here. Oh, here we go. These Focusrite Solos. The Focusrite 2i2, I think it is, isn't it? Oh, it's the 8. Oh, this one's called the 813. A lot of the popular Focusrites are like 2i2. They're called. A lot of people have used them, and really found them useful. So, worked really well. This is Focusrite. Can't really see the front connections on that very well. That's the back. Here we go again. On the back you've got a couple of those line outputs you'd use for your speakers. And actually I've probably chosen the wrong interface here. Let's go back a minute. I don't want that one. I want a simpler one than that. Oh, here we go. Let's go to this one. Anyway, Focusrite, the Scarlet, they're very budget interfaces, but a lot of people get on and do some really reasonably good recordings with them. So this is the SSL. There's another interface for you if you want to check that out. This has got 2 inputs by the looks of it. Monitor control, that's a headphone control by the looks of it. A little bit of metering. Tells you how much level there is there when you're recording. I can't really talk too much about that here. Let me look at the back. Oh, there we go. Look, here's your 2 microphone inputs. So we can get it any bigger. Here we go. 1 and 2. You've got 2 mic inputs. That will take a microphone. That will take an XLR lead or a jack lead by the looks of it. I'll show you the lead in a minute. And then here we go. Left and right. They would be plugged into your monitors again. So anyway, it gives you an idea. That's the interfaces. There's lots of different interfaces out there, by the way. These are budget interfaces. All these, sort of under £400 are all pretty budget, really. Interfaces at that level, and there are some slight differences between them, but and some people prefer some over others, but they're going to give you roughly the same thing. And some people somebody might just prefer going for the Universal Audio Vault. Somebody else might prefer the Scarlet. Somebody else might prefer the SSL. You can't go wrong with any of these budget units. There's also Presonus do interfaces as well. And another good brand, actually, I'll see if I can get any of theirs up, is Audient. Now, Audient audio. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Now these. Let's go back a minute. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Right. So the Audient is This is the ID22. There we go. You've got a couple of microphone inputs, and you'll have. Don't worry about all these other connections here for the moment. 1, 2 out by the looks of it, which would be left and right. Looks like the monitor outputs, those ones. Looks like you might have another couple of outputs as well. But yeah, you only got to worry about the monitor outputs where you're turning your speakers up and down in your headphones for now, if you're keeping it simple. Anyway, that's that. So, right. I'm going to show you some leads now. So basically, if you've got an interface, you've got to get your mic. So you get your microphone here. You get the microphone. At the bottom, you'll see a little 3-pin lead. Can you see that? Little 3. There's 3 pins there. So that's what we call an XLR connection. So you've got your dig playing into your mic. It's going to go through that connection. And then you need a lead to plug it into. So basically, you've got Can you see that's got 3 pins? So basically, this female end, which has got 3 pins, would plug in to that end there. The male, that would plug in. So that would go, see if I can plug it in now. There we go. It just clicks in. There we go, that's plugged in. I'll unplug it again now. But that's plugged in there, and then this end would plug into your interface. It's as simple as that. And that's an XLR lead with those 3 pins. They're XLRs because they're what we call balanced leads. I can't explain that right now, but basically it just stops a lot of noise and interference in professional audio, having those 3 pins on it and the leads. That's why we use them, and that's what you'll need to use. So the other leads you might come across are these leads here, jack plugs. Now these are 1/4-inch jack plugs, or 6.35 millimeters, I think they are these days. So that's what we call TS. That's just got a tip and a sleeve. That's just got tip and a sleeve there. So that's sort of what we'd call an unbalanced connection. It might connect into a guitar or something. And then you've got another one here. That's the same, exactly the same size, but it's got tip, ring. Let's go the other way around rather. Tip, ring, sleeve. So there's 3 connections. So basically, the 3 connections, what they do, it could be for balanced audio again, exactly the same as the XLR lead. You could get a balanced connection, but you don't plug these into microphones. You get XLR connections on microphones usually. So that's a TRS lead, and the other, TRS jack lead, jack plug. So you might come across those, and all you've got to do, as I say, you can plug them in and you're ready to go. So basically you've got your mic plugged in, you've got your interface, you've got that set, but you don't forget you need a DAW, digital audio workstation. And let me see. I'm not going to show you anything on screen on that, but what the digital audio workstation does is actually what I'll do. I'll show you. I have got something ready here. I nearly forgot. I'm going to show you this online here. This is actually a bit of hardware, a bit of a hardware kit. It's called the Model 12. I doubt whether you'd be getting one of these to start with. It'd be a bit more complex, if you really want to start off simple. But I'm going to explain something here. If you were to get a digital audio workstation, basically you'd get on this digital audio, on this hardware mixer, because in the old days they used to mix on analog hardware mixing desks. This is what this is called. So in the digital audio workstation, the equivalent is you've got the stuff set on your screen, and then you've got all these controls inside inside the software on your screen. But basically it's got all these controls. So I just wanted to put this up here to give you an idea that, because although when you use a DAW you might think, oh God, for some people it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be, it takes me some time to get my head around a new DAW. So if you're starting off, it can be a bit, for some it is. For others people, they're just sort of more tech minded. It's not going to bother them so much. So just want to make sure that once you get familiar with it, you'll be fine. I'll explain something on this so that it, as an analogy to what you'll get in a DAW, because I can show you here. Here's a gain control that I showed you on the interface, because this Model 12 is an interface as well actually, but I'm not going to go into this. But anyway, it's got a gain control here that boosts the microphone signal, the sound from your Dig through the microphone. Then we come down here, we'll forget that knob, and then we'll come down here. I think this is the EQ section from what I can see. EQ section is the equalizer. So if you look at this, if you think of what's happening is when you've plugged your mic in, the signal's going through the gain going, and then it goes down this path here. If you can understand one of these strips, you can understand all of these. It looks more complicated than it is. It's really rather simple, because once you understand the signal flow through the microphone to the lead, in this case through the mixer, it's got its own interface, so it's got gain there. It flows down this line here through the EQ section, so you can adjust the EQ. That's the treble, the mid-range, and the bass. And then it goes right down here. We won't worry about those knobs there. And then it goes through this one here. Can you see? You might not see that. It's called pan. And the pan control, you can turn it left or right. I'm going the opposite way there, aren't I? That might be left from the camera. Right, I'm not sure. But anyway, bear with me on that. So you can pan it left and right, so that if you've recorded your dig, you could get it to come out the left speaker when you've recorded it, or you could get it to come out the right side of the speaker by panning. That's what panning does. So so this channel strip here, I'm going to relate it to the DAW now. So inside the DAW, you've got an EQ, what they used to call an EQ plugin. You'll have a little box come up, and you can control the EQ inside the DAW. And then you'll have a pan control inside the DAW too. All these controls. And at the bottom here, you see this button here? This is what we call a fader. It's a volume control, basically, for this channel. So you've got all these channels here. They all do the same thing. So you only have to understand one strip, and then you can understand all of these strips. It's as simple as that. Okay? Okay. You might take your head, while to get your head around one of the channel strips to start with, but once you've got one, it's not as complicated as it seems. So basically, you've got this channel strip here, the channel strip and this fader. And then, where's the master fader? You'll have, oh, on the right hand side, right at the other end of the of this particular mixer, you've got a master fader here. That little red button there is the master fader. Now, I think it is, pretty sure. Yeah, there we go, main fader. It's the master fader. It controls the stereo signal. Don't worry about that if you're not sure what that is. The stereo signal. Well, it's the main output of this desk. And inside the DAW, this is actually a hard disk recorder as well, or an SSD disk recorder, I think it is. But inside the DAW, you'll have this control, this main fader as well. So you've got all these, you've sort of got these controls, and you've got much more power, because you can have many more plugins. You can have EQ plugins, you can have what they call compressor plugins, limiter plugins, things that you don't have to worry about that too much at the moment, because all you need to really concern yourself, if you're getting a new bit of kit, is to get used to learning how to use a DAW. And if you can understand a channel strip, then when you're inside a DAW, I could maybe see if, I don't know whether it'll work, I could try and see if I can start up my application. Let me give it a go. Let me see if it'll work. I'm going to try and start up my Studio One. Because there are different DAWs. So you've got Studio One. I've got Studio One, what you can see loading up now. I've used Mixcraft before. There's Logic Pro, or Pro Logic, I can't remember which way around that is. There's Pro Tools, which is a very well known Pro Audio DAW. I'm just going to mention these ones, and if you want something really simple, or you want the simplest DAW, I would go for Mixcraft. Mixcraft 9, I think it is now. It's one of the simplest DAWs. You can record professional audio on it. You know, you're not limited. I use Studio One. There's more routing capacity. There's a bit more going on with it. And yeah, I'll load something I've got experimenting with at the moment on my door. So you can buy different doors. Logic is a well-known one that a lot of people use. It will take some getting used to and getting your head around, but as I say, if you can understand a channel strip on a bit of hardware mixer, it can give, and you understand the signal flow, how it goes through, it might give you some understanding of how it works in a digital audio workstation, because it's kind of similar. Here we go. Right, now then, what I'm going to do is, I've got to get that. Oh, that's let me see if I can. Right, that's a bit too. I can't see myself there. Here we go. I'm just going to make the door a bit smaller on the screen. Here you can see I've got lots of different channels open. So this is like, here we go, Didgeridoo there. I've got Dig. I've made a few recordings here. So these are the like tracks you get. I've got loads of them open here. You can just have a couple of tracks open. I just happen to have quite a few open there, that's all. And then let's go back to mix. Here you can see this is like a channel strip, on what I was showing you a minute ago. Let's put it back to full screen there now. A channel strip, you only need a few of that. You only need, like, if you're just got a Dig going, you just need one of these. And on here, I mean, I've got different plugins. So for example, I'll tell you what, let's get that along there, because you don't need to see those ones. Right, I've got a Didgeridoo track here. You can actually see the input moving as though I'm recording, and there's the fader. That's the channel fader. The main fader, you can't see it because it's behind this box here, but I've got a main fader over here, and the EQs, let's get Pro EQ up. There we go. There's a plug-in EQ. So you've got all the controls here. So you can see it's very different from a bit of hardware mixer, but it's a very powerful way of editing your audio, getting the tracks down. As I say, getting the tracks down, I can switch views here. This is the mixing view, so you can see all the different faders. If I had all these tracks running with lots of different recordings on, you'd see this going. I've just got one here at the moment, the Dig track, and you can have, I've got a few plugins on there as well. So let's just come out of that now. I don't really want to talk too much about the door if I can help it, but let's go back. So that's a digital audio workstation, and it does take you a bit of time to get your head around. But don't let it put you off. If you want the simplest one, Mixcraft 9, they do a professional version and they do a softer version. I'd go for the softer version, which is cheaper anyway. I think it's about 70 or 80 odd quid. And you don't need the Pro version. Just gives you loads and loads of plugins, and you can get just as good professional recordings on the slimmer version. And a lot of digital audio workstations do that. You don't necessarily need loads and loads of, you get more sample sounds and more plugins and all that stuff. Well, just go for the cheaper option, if you want to. You can still you'll get professional results the same. It's just that you don't have all the rest of it. I prefer the lighter versions myself, less clutter, to be honest. I only use a handful of plugins anyway. You don't need lots of plugins. But if you're using a DAW, then as I showed you on that desk, you've got the EQ. You will be using EQ. You might want to use a bit of reverb, and you can do all that in the digital audio workstation. So basically, you've got it plugged into your interface, you've got it into your computer, and it'll all get set up into the DAW so that you can record onto it, and that's how it works. one last thing I will mention, because I don't want to go on too long today. I think I'll do a part 2 and explain some other bits of this. Also, if you don't want to go down the DAW route, you can, on the PC, you can actually just buy, like I showed you, that hardware recorder. I wonder if I've still got that. Still that showing there. This you might not want to go for this, but you could get something like Tascam do, I think, a 03 and a 06 and a 08, very small portable recorders, really quite cheap, that you can record on. But I think that you can use them as an interface as well. So you can plug that into your computer, and I wonder if I can look that up. Leisure Tech. I'm going to just quickly see if I can look up Tascam, because Tascam do digital hardware recorder. Tascam. Oh, here we go. Tascam. Here we go. DP03. What's this? Here we go. It's a little digital Porter Studio. So you could get something like this, where you've got your volume faders again. You'll have it's probably your trim gain. This means the same thing. And you'll have, but you can use one of these hardware recorders if you don't want to use a digital audio workstation, and these will also act as an interface. So you'll have an interface and also a hardware recorder, and these days they tend to be SSD. You can plug in an SSD disk, or I'm not sure whether it's inbuilt on these or whether you have to plug a little card in or not, but anyways, SSD recorder. So, and you might prefer that. You don't have the power, you don't have the sort of editing power that you will in a DAW, because you can see the waveform, and the waveform is like, I might explain that in the next video. The waveform, you can edit, you've got all the plugins. It's just a more powerful way of doing things in a digital audio workstation. But if you don't want to work on a PC and you want to have a separate standalone unit, then they do a more elaborate version of this, the 24, I can't remember the number of it now, but Tascam do a 24, which is about, what's that, 300, 400 quid? Not a lot of money these days. And you've got quite a lot of inputs on it, mic inputs. I think they do a 32 as well. So, and it's a choice really of how you want to work. So the other thing, what else is there to mention? So yeah, basically you've got your microphone, your interface, or you've got your hardware mixer like that. Let's just come out of there now and go back to main screen. So you've got, either you're going to do it in the PC and you've got your connections like that, or you're going to use a little hardware mixer, or if you just want to really do basics, you could just use a portable recorder and get some headphones or something. But if you do decide you want to set a room up, then once you've got your mic interface, you could get yourself some loudspeakers, the monitor speakers, and you need to think about the room as well, because the room can have if the room's not very good, it can have quite a detrimental effect on the sound when you're recording into a microphone, and when you're listening back. When you're listening back as well, it's kind of like can muddy the sound, and you don't get a clear, accurate picture of what you're recording. So, you can't worry too much about that, because if you're going to just get going, you've got to get something, and you can always work that out later. So, and I've done videos on microphones, and I've done videos on monitoring to give you an idea how to set up speakers in a room. But you could get yourself a pair of headphones, and I think what I'll do is I'll finish here, just so that we've got a bit of an overview of what you kind of need. And I think I might do another video explaining a bit more about what's going on, you know, inside an interface, what it actually is. I might explain a little bit more about how you can record, you know, for example, why you only need 2 inputs or 1 input on an interface, and yet you could record several tracks, you know. It's called overdubbing, but I'll maybe just explain a little bit more of that in the next one. And also I might cover just a brief thing on, you will come across sampling rates, and you know, you might come across a term converter and things like that. I might just do a brief overview, so you've got an idea of what the connection setup is and what's happening, and some of the things you might need to know. Just give you a rough overview. Anyway, I think we'll leave it at that today, and I should follow up with another one, because it's kind of gives you half a picture of what that is, and then maybe just give you another picture of a bit about the recording process, and maybe, you know, anything else you might need to know. Anyway, hopefully that's of some use, and the next one will be following up very soon. So that's bye for now.